What is up, guys? Today let's talk about one of my favorite food plots, a clover field. Let's talk about two different ways you can establish it that's really easy and easy to maintain. So for me, guys, over the last few years I've just let clover go for a while, and I haven't really planted it. I've stuck with cereal grains in the fall, and pretty much that's it. I did a little, not on this plot, but I've started the buffalo system, Chris and I, and we've been messing with that. We let rye grow up, crimp it over, trying to do the natural process. Well, this particular plot, I typically, over the past years, have kept in clover. The last 2 years, I've just kind of not messed with it, just let it go in the spring and summer, and then, plant in the fall. Well, in the last 2 years, I've really noticed the deer numbers decline a little bit in my particular area here. And, before that, I've always had good deer numbers. And I realize there's more pressure than there's ever been around me of hunters and that kind of thing. But I really feel like it may be me not supplying that spring and summertime food plot of clover like I always have. So I'm actually trying to bring it back and see if I can push my numbers back up. And hopefully we'll get some clover established here, and come this fall, we'll really be able to tell, okay, are my numbers back up? Are my doe numbers back where they used to be? So that's the goal. And there's no better way to do that than with clover. All right, guys, for me, one of the easiest ways to establish clover is to plant it in the fall. So what I like to do is I like cereal grains in the fall for their attraction to deer. However, what you can do is you can go ahead and plant your cereal grains, but then you can add clover in to that mix. And what'll happen is the clover actually takes root in the fall, and really, it'll come in lightly. It may not establish much, but come that spring, man, the clover will really jump into it. If you'll notice behind me, this is a last fall clover planting that has done well. All you have to do, guys, is come in here and mow out the cereal grain. In this case, it's winter wheat. There's a little bit of oats in here, and that's it. So all we have to do this spring is to mow out that. It may take 2 or 3 times of mowing, to get it under control. But once you get it under control, you've got it, and it turns into this, guys. Just a pretty good carpeted clover field. I've had a ton of deer in here in the last couple days, just hammering this stuff. And to me, that's probably the easiest way. But you do have a second option, and your second option is frost seeding clover. So this plot was existing. Well, on the top side here, I used a blend that had clover seed in it, and that's why I have the clover. On the bottom side, I went pure winter wheat and peas. That's all I put in it. So in February, I came in and frost seeded the whole bottom side of this plot to give me that clover. And again, it's the same, guys. All you got to do is come in and mow out the cereal grain. As it gets warmer, the cereal grain will die and go away, and the clover will take over. For me, guys, it's been a great attractant in that springtime all the way up into summer. Unfortunately, in Arkansas, we typically are too hot to sustain clover. I have a few years in the past where, the clover actually made it through. But, if you're looking for that spring, summertime plot that's, once you get it established, it does pretty good, is clover. Real easy to maintain. Really about the only thing you have to do once it's established is you will have to mow it some. And depending on your weed competition, you might have to spray for weeds ever so often. But the deer love it. It's really attractive in the spring and in the early fall. And I just, it's something I've always used. I've taken about a 2-year break here on clover, and I'm bringing it back and see if it, helps my deer numbers. They've been down a little bit. So if you've never thought about it, give it a shot. You can plant clover in the spring. It's just, if you wait till the spring, you have a lot of weed competition, and you really need to prep your soil ahead of time. You need to go in, either till it or disc it, and then you want to flatten it out. Clover seed is really small. So for me, my 2 favorites is planting in the fall with my cereal grains, or frost seeding at the end of winter to establish that clover. If you've never tried it, guys, give it a shot. Guys, I appreciate you watching as always. God bless.